Hey there, Dave here. This is a sad day for self-proclaimed credit card nerds like myself. This is a video that I really did not want to have to make, but it turns out that my all-time favorite credit card for cash back at restaurants really was too good to be true. Of course, I'm talking about my Uber Visa card. This is the card that pays 4% back, well, at least it used to pay 4% back at restaurants, 3% on airfare and hotels, and 2% for online purchases, 1% everywhere else. This is a great card, but none of that is true anymore. A couple of days ago, comments started pouring in on my YouTube videos. I feel kind of bad because I've been raving about this card in my credit card videos. It really was an amazing card. I've gotten a lot of comments from people who have signed up for the card only to find out that it is changing. In fact, it was actually the comments that alerted me to these changes. Clearly, I check my comments on YouTube more often than I check my personal email, but when I did log in and check my email, there it was. You gotta love marketing, putting a positive spin on a very negative change. So in this video, we're going to dive into what exactly changed, when those changes are taking effect, and most importantly, what are we gonna do next? Specifically, which credit card am I switching to for earning at restaurants? The changes don't take effect immediately, so I have a little time to figure out which card I'm going to use for travel, but dining at restaurants is something I do pretty much every day. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to keep using the Uber Visa card. If you're new around here, my name is Dave Hanson, and I'm always looking for ways to maximize benefits on credit cards while minimizing the amount of effort and thought that goes into it, and really not having to change anything that you would normally do to be able to maximize those benefits. You're not going to find any affiliate links on my website, unlike most people who review credit cards, whether it be on blogs or YouTube or wherever. All of them are incentivized to recommend cards. I am not at all. I make my money as an investor, and if you want to know more about that, I've got another YouTube channel for you. Ding. And even if you follow me there, please also subscribe here, because this is the place that I can put stuff that doesn't really fit on dumb money. Whether it's information about credit cards, which seems to have found a real audience. I think half of my subscribers now are from the Apple card video that I made. So subscribe, and I hope to see you back for another one. With that out of the way, let's talk about this Uber Visa card. The biggest change, and the change that makes this card kind of worthless in my opinion, is that instead of being a cash back card, this card is now paying you something they like to call Uber Cash. Don't be confused, Uber Cash is not cash. It is credits for Uber rides. Here's a quick summary of everything else that's changing. The restaurant category is going from 4% to 3%. Travel is still 3%. They're bumping Uber rides from 2% up to 5%. They're getting rid of the 2% category for online purchases, and everything else is still going to be 1%. But again, I can't emphasize this enough. You're not earning cash back, you're earning credit towards Uber rides. So even when you earn and eventually use that credit for a free ride on Uber, you're not going to be able to earn at the highest rate for that ride. I hate it when credit cards do that. Other things that are changing with the card, they're getting rid of the $50 annual credit they give you for streaming services. That's kind of a bummer. They're also getting rid of pretty much all of your shopping perks. That includes price protection, purchase protection if something gets lost or damaged, extended warranty, return protection. Is that it? I think that's it. That's pretty much everything there is. And don't forget, you're no longer getting cash back. I can't repeat that enough. So when this is happening, if you don't yet have an Uber card, it's effective immediately. If you already have an Uber Visa, check your email, check your spam folder. The date that this card is switching over will vary depending on when you got the card. For me, it's happening in February of 2020. I've heard from a lot of viewers that they have until May of 2020. If you're one of those, lucky you. But it's never too early to prepare, and I've rounded up the absolute best replacement cards. And I found one that actually beats 4% and has no annual fee. So stay tuned, or jump to this time. So what now? Today I'm specifically focusing on which card to get for cashback at restaurants. I don't have any travel that I have to book immediately. I have until February until these new benefits kick in, so I have a little bit of time there, but I eat at restaurants all the time, and so it's kind of an emergency. I've got to find a card right now. So here are the contenders. We're trying to beat 4% cash back. I found one with 5 times earnings in the restaurant category. It's the Citi Prestige card. It has a hefty $495 annual fee. Then there's the American Express Gold card. It offers 4 times points in the dining category. It has a $250 annual fee. Then there are a couple varieties of cards from Capital One. The Savor card is a $95 annual fee that pays 4% cash back for restaurants, and the Savor One card is a a no annual fee card that pays 3% cash back at restaurants. A lot of people have asked about the Wells Fargo Propel American Express card. It's a no annual fee card. It pays 3% cash back at restaurants. Another popular card is the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. It gives you 3 times as many points in the restaurant category and comes with a $450 annual fee. And finally, the Bank of America Cash Rewards card. It is another 3% cashback card with no annual fee. That is a ton of cards to consider. I'm going to do a deep dive on the pros and cons of each, and if that sounds completely boring to you, feel free to skip ahead to this time right here. I'll tell you which card I'm going with. But if you want to know why, let's dig into it. For each card, I'm going to show you earning potential based on how much money you spend, and I'm going to plot it on a graph that looks like this. This is the card to beat. This is the old Uber card, and you can see as you spend more money, you earn more rewards. The best card for cash back at restaurants really kind of depends on how much money you spend personally at restaurants, and that also includes takeout and delivery and usually bars. So think about how much you spend and look for that spot on the graph. If you spend $5,000 a year, you'll want to look there. If you spend $10,000 a year, you'll want to look there. So let's get started with the Citi Prestige card. And it seems like it's going to be the winner because it has 5 times earnings at restaurants. Unfortunately, Citi's thank you points are only worth a half a cent per point when you redeem them for cash. With this card, you're essentially earning 2.5% cash back. You can redeem for travel, but you have to book your travel on the Citi thank you website. But you can actually redeem for 1.25 cents for travel on their website. If you get a companion card, that's the Citi Premier card, it's an additional $95 annual fee, but that gives you an effective 5.25% cash back on your restaurant purchases. That sounds great. Let's put it on the chart. So you can see the black line is what you would have earned with Uber. To have both of those cards to maximize your earning potential, you're going to be spending $590 a year in annual fees. That's if you redeem for travel on their website at the 5.25%. That's the green line. Even if you spend $15,000 a year, you do not even come close to catching up with that old Uber card. And if you redeem for cash, that's the yellow line there. Not looking good. I made a whole video about how annual fees kill your cashback earning potential. After you watch this video, you might want to check that one out. So even though 5 times earnings at restaurants sounds great, once you factor in that annual fee, it's not so great. We can do better. Let's look at the gold card from American Express. It is a $250 a year annual fee. That is way better than Citibank's $495 fee. And on the gold card from Amex, you earn 4 times member rewards points, and member rewards points can be redeemed for 0.6 cents per point, but you can actually redeem those Amex points for more. You can redeem them for 1.25 cents per point if you get a very special card called the American Express Platinum Card, but not just the normal one. You have to get it through Schwab Brokerage. Of course, that card has a hefty $550 annual fee, but you get to redeem those points for 1.25 cents per point. Let's put it on the chart. And as you can see, after paying those combined $800 of annual fees every year, it doesn't really pay to have this card if you're using it for restaurant cash back. I will say that the Platinum card at $550 does have some other perks that you may find value in, such as gold status at both Bonvoy hotels and at Hilton hotels, and VIP status on Uber, and access to the Centurion Lounge at airports, and also Priority Pass, and a bunch of features. So if you find that valuable and you have this card anyway, it is kind of nice to be able to cash in those points at 1.25 cents. But as far as a simple way to earn the most cash back at restaurants, we can do better. Maybe we can do it with the Savor card from Capital One. The Savor card is a 4% cash back card. It has a lower annual fee of only $95. There are actually 2 varieties of the Savor card: the Savor Rewards card, $95, 4%, or the Savor One card, 0 annual fee, 3% cash back. The only way to know which one's better is to look at the chart. And as you can see, neither of these quite pay as much as the old Uber card did. I really hate that they changed the Uber card program, but this does pay solid cash back. And depending on how much you spend, you may do better off not paying the annual fee. If you spend less than $9,000 at restaurants, you'll come out ahead. Or if you spend more than $9,000 a year at restaurants, pay the annual fee and you'll come out ahead there. Charts are so much fun, aren't they? Next, we're going to look at the Wells Fargo Propel card. This is an American Express card that has no annual fee. It pays 3% back at restaurants. And I actually really like this card because it also pays 3% back in a bunch of other categories that are useful, like airfare, hotels, car rentals, streaming services, there are more, rental cars, and gas. That's a lot of really useful categories paying 3% cash back. This is a really good card. Let's see how it compares. And we kind of already know how it compares because it is the same line as the Savor One card, the one without the annual fee. Both of those, no annual fee, 3% cash back. So that's a really good card, definitely one that I would consider, but stay with me because we have a couple more in this 3 times earning category, and you're gonna be surprised. At least I think so. Let's look at the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. This card is very popular. It's part of what credit card nerds like to call the Chase trifecta. There's also American Express trifecta. There's a Citi trifecta. I really don't go for any of those because it goes against everything that I think about paying annual fees. But recently Chase changed their structure and you no longer have to have the companion card to be able to redeem at a higher rate. So with the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, you earn 3 times points. Those are ultimate rewards points. Those are worth a penny a point when you redeem for cash, or if you redeem for travel on their website, you get 1.5 cents per point. So that gives you an effective 4.5% cash back. Well, not really cash back. You get 4.5% redeemed for travel, or 3% if you redeem for cash. But that sounds good, so let's look at the chart. And as you see, that $450 annual fee ate up all of your earning potential yet again. If you redeem for cash, you don't even cover your annual fee until you've spent $15,000 at restaurants. And if you redeem for travel, you break even at $10,000 and then start making your 4.5%. But again, have to redeem for travel on their website. So again, if there's something else about that card that you find value in, it might be worth the annual fee. But when it comes to simply earning cash back at restaurants, we can do better. Which brings us to our last card, the Bank of America Cash Rewards card. I almost didn't even consider this card because we already have a couple of other examples of 3% cash back cards with no annual fee, but there's something different about this Bank of America card. And it's definitely not for everyone, but if you have a checking account or a savings account with money in it at Bank of America, or an investment account at Merrill, which is now a part of the Bank of America family, they have something called, what do they call it? Premier Rewards? Preferred Rewards, that essentially multiplies how much you earn cash back using this card. And it actually gets really good. On their gold tier, you get 3.75% cash back. On their platinum tier, you get 4.5% cash back. And on their platinum honors tier, you get 5.25% cash back. I spent a lot of time looking at credit cards, and I have not found a single other credit card that gives more than 5% cash back when you use it at restaurants. Now, there is a cap on your earnings. They only count the first $2,500 you spend each quarter, but if you can reach that 5.25% level, you're actually coming out way ahead. And again, this is definitely not for everybody. To reach these tiers, you have to have a lot of money in the bank. For the gold level, you have to have $20,000 in the bank, platinum $50,000, and platinum honors $100,000. No joke, that is a lot. So if you can find a way to have that much money in an account with Bank of America, other than robbing the bank, don't do that. But you can earn at these high rates, and let's take a look at it on the chart. Again, the black line is the Uber line. That is the price to beat, and we've beat it in both the Platinum and Platinum Honors version of this cash rewards card. That is a pretty chart. I really didn't think I'd find a card that pays more than 5% cash back, particularly one with no annual fee. Let's now throw all of the cards on. I put all the ones I'm not really considering in gray, and you see that the Bank of America cards pay way more than the other cards. That green line there is a 3-way tie between the Bank of America card with no multiplier and also the Savor One card and also the Wells Fargo Propel card from American Express. The pink line is the Savor Rewards card that pays 4% cash back with the $95 annual fee. It holds up pretty well, especially if you spend more than $9,000 a year at restaurants. But you really can't beat these Bank of America cards if you have cash in the bank. Or if you have maybe an old retirement account sitting at some other institution and you don't really care where that money sits and it's just invested in an ETF or something that Merrill will also have access to, you can earn some money by moving it over. Clearly, that is not an option for everyone, but it is the highest rate I've found and definitely something worth considering. And now, welcoming back all of the people who fast-forwarded to this point, it's time for some conclusions. First off, paying annual fees absolutely kills your ability to earn cash back. Plain and simple. I can't emphasize that enough. I made a whole video about that. After this, you can watch that. Second, if you have money in the bank, anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000, and you want to absolutely earn the most cash back using a credit card, the Bank of America Cash Rewards Card, with their preferred rewards program where you can earn up to 5.25% cash back at restaurants. Amazing. If that's not attainable, there's just one thing to consider. How much money do you spend each year at restaurants and bars? If you spend more than $9,000 per year, you should get the Capital One Savor Rewards Card. That card has a $95 annual fee, but you come out ahead if you spend more than $9,000 a year. If you spend less than $9,000 a year, you actually have a few different options. My favorite is the Propel card from Wells Fargo. It's 3% cash back at restaurants and bars, and a whole bunch of other categories. I can never remember all of these. There's so many of them. It's dining, airfare, hotels, rental cars, streaming services, gas, and one more, ride shares. Maybe a few others. Check their website. That one's a good one, especially if you already have a Wells Fargo account. If you don't and you want a Capital One card, the Savor One card is their no annual fee 3% cashback card. And that's it. My recommendation for how to maximize your cash back at restaurants now that this Uber card is essentially worthless. Next up, I'm going to make a video about how to maximize your benefits for travel. That's airfare and hotels. You do not want to miss that video. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. I'm going to be doing the research and making my suggestions in the next week or so. And until that video, thank you guys so much for watching. If anything in this video was useful to you or helpful or entertaining, or if you just think it's kind of funny that some guy on the internet can talk about credit cards as much as I do, hit that like button. It lets YouTube know that this was worth watching. It lets other people know that they might want to check it out. Until the next video, maybe watch one of these. I'm Dave Hanson. I'll see you next time.